August 2nd, 216 BC. A dusty plain in southern Italy. 86,000 Roman soldiers stand in perfect formation. Best equipment. Best training. Largest army Rome has ever assembled. Across the field, 50,000 Carthaginians. Outnumbered. Outgunned. Led by a 32-year-old general named Hannibal. The Romans are confident. The math is simple, 86,000 versus 50,000. They just need to push forward and win. 8 hours later, 70,000 Romans are dead. Piled in heaps. Suffocated by their own army. Hannibal loses 6,000 men. It's the most lopsided victory in military history. The perfect battle. And we know exactly how he did it. Because 2,200 years later, every military academy on Earth still teaches this battle. West Point. Sandhurst. Saint-Cyr. They all study the same question. How did one man's brain destroy Rome's largest army in a single afternoon? This is Cannae. The battle that redefined warfare. Let's watch perfection. To understand Cannae, you need to understand how pissed off Rome was. Year 216 BC. The Second Punic War has been raging for 2 years. And Rome is losing. Badly. The nightmare begins. 2 years earlier, 218 BC, Hannibal did something everyone said was impossible. He crossed the Alps. With 50,000 men. And 37 war elephants. In winter. Through mountain passes nobody thought were crossable. Half his army died. Most of the elephants died. But he made it to Italy. And started destroying everything. In 2 years Hannibal fought 2 major battles. Battle of Trebia, December 218 BC. 40,000 Romans versus 30,000 Carthaginians result. 30,000 Romans dead. Hannibal loses 5,000. Battle of Lake Trasimene, June 217 BC. 30,000 Romans versus 40,000 Carthaginians. Hannibal ambushes them in fog along a lake result. 25,000 Romans dead. Drowned or butchered. So by summer 216 BC, Rome has lost 55,000 soldiers in 2 years. And Hannibal is still in Italy. Still undefeated. Burning farms. Raiding cities. Making Rome look weak. Here's the thing. Hannibal is 100 miles from Rome itself. The capital. The heart of the empire. If he marches on the city, Rome might fall. The Senate is in full panic mode. Some senators want to negotiate. Make peace. Give Hannibal whatever he wants. Others want revenge. We can't negotiate with terrorists. The war faction wins. Their argument, we're Rome. We don't lose to Carthaginians. We just haven't sent a big enough army yet. Senate makes unprecedented move. They raise 8 legions. Normally Rome fields 4. This is double their entire military. They're emptying the treasury. Conscripting every able man. Pulling troops from every corner of Italy. Building the largest Roman army ever assembled. One mission, find Hannibal. Kill him. And this. Rome operates on consul system, 2 leaders sharing command. For 216 BC the consuls are Gaius Terentius Varro, the aggressive one. Lower class. Wants glory. His strategy, find Hannibal. Smash him with overwhelming force. Win. Lucius Aemilius Paulus, the cautious one. Aristocrat. Experienced. His strategy, Hannibal is too dangerous for direct battle. We should. Varro cuts him off, we should win. With 86,000 men we can't lose. This disagreement will cost 70,000 lives. Summer 216 BC. The army assembles. 86,000 soldiers. 80,000 heavy infantry. 6,000 cavalry. Miles of marching column. Supply wagons. Weapons. They head south. Hunting Hannibal. Soldiers are confident. Many have never seen combat. They've heard Hannibal is unbeatable. But they've also got numbers on their side. One soldier reportedly said, even if we just fall on them, our weight will crush them. He has no idea how right and how wrong he is. Let's talk about this army. Because it's massive. 86,000 men is huge for ancient warfare. Most Roman armies, 20,000 to 30,000. This is triple that. Standard Roman legion, 4,200 men. They've got 8 legions. Plus Italian allies. Plus cavalry. Organized into 3 lines. Hastati, front line young soldiers, light armor principes, second line prime-age veterans, medium armor triarii, third line old veterans, heavy armor, reserve. This system works because it allows rotation. Front line tired? Rotate to second line. It's one Rome every war for 200 years. Each Roman soldier carries gladius, short sword, 60 centimeters, designed for stabbing, pilum, javelin, 2 meters, thrown before charging scutum, large rectangular shield. Protects from neck to knees. Larica hamada, chainmail, or bronze cuirass helmet with cheek guards. Total weight, 30 kilograms of equipment. In August heat. In southern Italy. This will matter. Here's where Varro makes a decision that dooms them. Normal Roman formation, 10 men deep. Allows maneuverability. Varro changes it, 50 men deep. What? Maximum pushing power. We'll crush them with weight. So instead of wide, flexible formation, they're a dense battering ram. 80,000 infantry compressed into tight column. Men packed shoulder to shoulder. Front to back. Looks unstoppable. Like human steamroller. It's actually a death trap. But nobody realizes yet. Rome has 6,000 cavalry. Sounds like a lot. But Roman cavalry is trash. Always has been. Romans are infantry people. They don't trust horses. Their cavalry is mostly Italian allies. Not well trained. Compare this to Hannibal, 10,000 cavalry. Elite riders. Numidians, North African light cavalry, best in the world. Spanish heavy cavalry. Gallic cavalry. Hannibal's entire career is built on cavalry superiority. Rome knows this. Doesn't care. Varro's logic, cavalry doesn't matter. We'll win with infantry. Paulus warns him, cavalry matters. Hannibal always. Varro, I don't care. We have the numbers. Romans march south. Find Hannibal near town of Cannae. It's flat plain. Perfect for infantry battle. Varro is thrilled. This is where we end him. Paulus is nervous. Hannibal chose this ground. It's a trap. It's a plain. What trap? There's nowhere to hide. Paulus has bad feeling. Can't explain it. On August 1st, they camp across from Carthaginian army. Tomorrow, battle. That night, Varro addresses troops. Tomorrow we outnumber them 2-1. All we have to do is march forward and win. Cheers. Confidence. Nobody sleeps well though. Because across the field, Hannibal is also preparing. And he's not preparing to fight. He's preparing to execute perfection. Hannibal Barca. Age 32. Already a legend. But let's be real about his situation, it's bad. His army, 50,000 total. 40,000 infantry, mix of Carthaginians, Spanish, Gauls. 10,000 cavalry. Outnumbered in infantry. Advantage in cavalry. He can't win a straightforward battle. If he lines up infantry versus infantry, Romans crush him through sheer mass. 80,000 versus 40,000? Not even close. His Gallic troops are decent but undisciplined. His Spanish troops are good but lightly armored. His African veterans, about 10,000, are elite. But nowhere near enough. So what does he do? Hannibal realizes something brilliant. Roman strength, their numbers, can become their weakness. If he can make them bunch together. Pack tight. Then they can't maneuver. Can't use those numbers effectively. We don't fight their army, he tells his officers. We trap their army. Then we kill it. Morning of August 2nd. Hannibal arranges his troops in a crescent. Not a straight line. A curve. Bulging toward the Romans. Here's the breakdown. Center the bait. 20,000 Gauls and Spanish infantry arranged in convex curve, bulging forward deliberately weak their job. Bend, don't break. Give ground slowly, draw Romans in. Make them think they're winning. Wings the jaws. 10,000 African heavy infantry split between left and right flanks. These are the real soldiers. Veterans of 20 campaigns. Best armor. Best training. They're hidden behind the curve initially. Their job, wait. When Romans fully commit to center, attack flanks. Flanks, the hunters. Left, 6,000 Spanish/Gallic heavy cavalry under Hasdrubal, Hannibal's brother. Right, 4,000 Numidian light cavalry under Maharbal. Their job, destroy Roman cavalry. Then circle behind Roman army. Hannibal calls his commanders together. Explains. Romans will attack our center. They'll push forward. Our Gauls will give ground, slowly. Bend backward. Romans will think they're winning. They'll push harder. Their formation will compress. Get tighter. Denser. When they're fully committed, wings close. African infantry attacks both flanks simultaneously. Cavalry returns from behind. Surrounded. No escape. One officer asks, what if the center breaks completely? Hannibal, it won't. Because Gauls know if they break, we all die. They'll hold. And if Romans don't take the bait, they will. Their commander is arrogant. He'll see our weak center and charge straight at it. This plan requires perfect execution. Perfect timing. Perfect discipline. Perfect courage from troops being slaughtered in center. One piece fails, whole plan collapses. Most generals would never attempt this. Too risky. Too many variables. But Hannibal has studied Romans for 2 years. Knows how they think. How they fight. Knows Varro is aggressive. Knows he'll take bait. This is chess, Hannibal says. And I'm 3 moves ahead. He's about to prove it. August 2nd, 216 BC. Dawn breaks over Cannae. 2 armies face each other across dusty plain. The Roman side. 86,000 men in tight rectangular formation. Depth, 50 ranks. Width, maybe 1,600 men across. Is human battering ram. That's heavy, slow. Romans are sweating already. August heat in armor is brutal. But they're confident. Look at Carthaginian line, it's curved toward them. Looks like Hannibal's inviting them to attack center. Varro tells Paulus, see? He's desperate. He's trying to maximize contact because he's outnumbered. Paulus doesn't respond. He's staring at that curve. Something's wrong. Can't put his finger on it. The Carthaginian side. 50,000 men arranged in crescent. From Roman perspective. Center, bulging forward with Gauls and Spanish wings. African infantry barely visible, hidden behind curve, far flanks. Cavalry on both ends. To Romans, looks unorthodox. Weird. But not threatening. Hannibal rides along his lines. Talks to soldiers. To Gauls in center, you're going to take a beating today. But if you hold, we win everything. To African infantry on wings, wait for my signal. When you move, move fast. To cavalry, destroy their cavalry. Then hunt. Both sides can see each other clearly now. Sunlight glinting off armor. Dust rising from thousands of feet. Romans beat swords against shields. Rhythmic. Intimidating. Carthaginians are quieter. Focused. Hannibal gives final order. When Romans advance, center gives ground. Slowly. Wings hold. Cavalry engages immediately. Then he waits. Varro gives order. Advance. 86,000 men step forward. In unison. Ground trembles. Dust cloud rises. They march toward Carthaginian line. Slow. Steady. Unstoppable. Soldiers in front can see Gallic warriors ahead. Looking nervous. Some Romans grin. They're already scared. Romans pick up pace. Now jogging. Breaking into run. Screaming war cries. This is it. Impact in 10 seconds. 5 seconds. The armies collide. The instant infantry lines meet. Cavalry on both flanks engages. This is where battle is actually decided. Infantry doesn't know it yet. Left flank Hasdrubal's masterstroke. Roman left cavalry, 2,400 horsemen. Italian allies. Not elite. Carthaginian right cavalry, 6,000 Spanish and Gallic heavy cavalry under Hasdrubal. Math is brutal. 6,000 versus 2,400. More than 2 to 1 advantage. Hasdrubal doesn't finesse it. Just charges. Spanish cavalry, armored riders on huge horses, crash into Roman line like truck hitting bicycle. Roman cavalry tries to hold. Can't. Within 10 minutes they're routed. Fleeing. Scattered. Hasdrubal doesn't pursue. This is key. Normal cavalry would chase. Rack up kills. Get glory. Hasdrubal stops. Reforms his cavalry. Waits. Because Hannibal's plan requires cavalry to come back. Right flank, the Numidian dance. Roman right cavalry, 3,600 horsemen. Better quality than left. Carthaginian left cavalry, 4,000 Numidians under Maharbal. Numidians are different. Light cavalry. No armor. Just javelins and speed. They don't charge. They swarm. Ride in. Throw javelins. Ride out. Romans try to charge them. Numidians scatter. Regroup. Attack again. It's like fighting smoke. Romans get frustrated. Angry. Chase Numidians away from battlefield. Exactly what Maharbal wants. Keep Roman cavalry busy. Away from infantry fight. The result. 15 minutes into battle. Roman left cavalry. Destroyed, fleeing Roman right cavalry. Distracted, chasing Numidians Roman infantry. Fighting alone. No cavalry support. They don't know it yet, but they're already dead. While cavalry fights rage on flanks, center is a grinder. 80,000 Roman infantry pushing into 20,000 Gauls and Spanish. Romans hit Carthaginian center like tsunami. Gauls in front line, lightly armored, long swords, take the impact. It's brutal. Romans stabbing with gladius. Pushing with shields. Gauls giving ground. Slowly. The crescent that bulged forward starts bending backward. Like bow being drawn. Romans see this. Think they're winning. Varro screams, push. They're breaking. Romans push harder. Here's where Varro's formation becomes death trap. Romans are 50 men deep. Packed tight. As they push forward, they compress even more. Men in front fighting. Men in middle can't see. Men in back pushing. Move forward. Push. Front ranks being crushed against enemy in their own army. Can barely breathe. Can't maneuver. Some Romans trying to swing swords, hitting their own comrades. It's chaos. 4 Gauls in center. It's a nightmare. They're outnumbered 4-1. Taking massive casualties. Romans keep coming. Like ocean wave. But Gauls hold. Because they know, if they break and run, Carthaginians behind them will kill them anyway. Only survival is holding line. So they fight. And die. And hold. Carthaginian center has bent backward 100 meters. Crescent that bulged forward is now concave, curving inward. Romans have pushed deep into Carthaginian formation. From above, it looks like Romans are winning. They've penetrated enemy lines. Gauls are giving ground. Varro is ecstatic, we've got them. Keep pushing. Paulus, fighting in the ranks, isn't celebrating. He looks left, looks right, realizes we're in a bowl. Carthaginian wings haven't moved. African infantry still standing on both flanks. Untouched. Watching. We need to pull back. Paulus yells. Nobody hears him. Too much noise. Too much chaos. Romans keep pushing forward. Walking into the jaws. From his command position, Hannibal sees Romans fully committed. Their entire army pushed into center. Formation compressed. No room to maneuver. Exactly where he wants them. He turns to his commanders. Now. The wings move. This is it. The moment Cannae becomes perfect. The double envelopment. On signal, 10,000 African heavy infantry, 5,000 on each flank, turn inward. Like doors closing. They march at angle, perpendicular to Roman advance. Hit Roman flanks simultaneously from both sides. Imagine you're a Roman soldier. You're in the middle of formation. Can't see much. Just backs of men ahead. You've been pushing forward for 30 minutes. Exhausted. Then, screams from your left. We're being attacked from the side. You turn. See African warriors smashing into your flank. Then screams from your right. The other side too. Panic. Romans now being attacked from 3 directions. Front, Gauls and Spanish who've stopped retreating. Left, African infantry right, African infantry. Formation that was 50 men deep now compresses even more. Men trying to turn to face flank attacks. But there's no room to turn. Packed so tight they can't move. Some Romans literally can't raise their arms. Shields pinned to their sides by crush of bodies. This is where Cannae stops being a battle. And becomes slaughter. Carthaginians on all 3 sides just stabbing. Romans in the middle can't defend. Can't fight back. Can't escape. Just dying. Some Romans suffocate. Crushed by their own army. Bodies piling up. Men trampling corpses of comrades. Blood turning dust into mud. Remember the cavalry? Hasdrubal destroyed Roman left cavalry 30 minutes ago. Now he circles behind entire Roman army. Charges into Roman rear. 4th side closed. Romans are surrounded. Completely. 86,000 men trapped in killing box maybe 2 kilometers across. This is what military academies call the perfect Cannae. Enemy surrounded on all sides. Cannot retreat. Cannot reinforce. Cannot maneuver. Just die. It's happened only handful of times in history. Because it requires. Cavalry superiority check. Disciplined center willing to take beating check. Perfect timing check. Elite infantry on wings check. Enemy stupid enough to walk into trap check. Hannibal has it all. Romans realize they're doomed. Some try to break out. Run toward any gap. Most are cut down. Some drop weapons. Beg for mercy. Carthaginians aren't taking prisoners today. Consul Paulus, who warned this was a trap, fights to the death in the center. Dies with his men. Honorable end. Consul Varro, whose arrogance caused this, flees with 70 cavalry. Escapes. Lives with shame. From noon to sunset, 6 hours, it's just killing. Carthaginians butchering trapped Romans. By sunset, silence. Field is covered in bodies. 70,000 Romans dead. Hannibal's losses, 6,000, mostly Gauls in center. 12-1 kill ratio. Perfect battle. Let's talk about the actual horror. Because the numbers don't capture it. 70,000 dead. To understand scale. More Romans died at Cannae than Americans in entire Vietnam War, 58,000. In one Duan field 5 square kilometers, that's 14,000 bodies per square kilometer, 145 deaths per minute for 8 hours. How do you kill 70,000 men? Romans were packed so tight, Carthaginians just stabbed. Over and over. Front rank stabs. Pull spear out. Stabs again. Next Roman steps forward or is pushed. Get stabbed. Repeat. 4 hours. It's not combat. It's industrial slaughter. Roman knights, cavalry class, wore gold rings. Symbol of status. After battle, Carthaginians collected them from corpses. How many? Ancient sources say 3 bushels. That's roughly 200 to 300 rings. Each ring equals 1 dead Roman knight. Hannibal's brother sent these to Carthage as proof of victory. Dumped them on Senate floor. Message: we destroyed their elite. About 15,000 Romans escaped. Most were rear ranks who broke through before encirclement completed. Another 10,000 captured. Sold as slaves. Total, 25,000 survived from 86,000. 71% casualty rate. Worst defeat in Roman history. Ancient sources describe aftermath. Bodies lay so thick, men walked on corpses without touching ground. Blood flowed in rivers, turned Aufidus River red for days. Smell of decay carried 20 miles. Birds wouldn't land for months. Local villagers couldn't bury them all. Just burned them in mass pyres. Took weeks. Hannibal lost 6,000 men. Most were Gauls in center, who took the beating while Romans pushed. They did their job. Held line long enough for trap to close. Died doing it. Hannibal mourned them. They'd saved his army. But 6,000 versus 70,000? Mathematically perfect. Modern archaeology at Cannae site has found thousands of Roman weapons, armor pieces, mass graves exactly where ancient sources described coins dating to 216 BC, evidence of burning, funeral pyres. It all matches ancient accounts. This wasn't exaggerated. It happened. News reaches Rome 3 days later. August 5, 216 BC. Messenger arrives, Cannae, they're all dead. Senate goes into emergency session. Consul Varro returns in disgrace. Reports, 86,000 men. Gone. Hannibal is undefeated. Some senators faint. Others weep openly. Entire families have been wiped out. Rome has lost 1/5 of military-age male citizens in one afternoon. Senate declares 30 days of national mourning. No public gatherings. No celebrations. No weddings. Women forbidden from crying in public, would damage morale. Every family in Rome has lost someone. Fathers, sons, brothers. Hannibal is 3 days' march from Rome. If he attacks now, city might fall. Rome has no army left to defend it. Women and old men grab weapons. Prepare to defend walls. Senate debates, do we surrender? Negotiate. Senior Senator Fabius Maximus stands up. We will not negotiate with Carthage. We will not surrender. We will raise a new army. And another. And another. If we lose 100,000 men, we'll raise 100,000 more. Rome does not quit. Senate votes, continue the war. They start conscripting again. Boys as young as 17. Men as old as 50. Slaves freed and armed. Criminals pardoned in exchange for service. Rome will fight. Hannibal's mistake. Here's the tragedy for Hannibal. His cavalry commander Maharbal tells him after Cannae, "Give me cavalry. I'll be in Rome in 5 days." Hannibal refuses, "We need to consolidate. Resupply." Maharbal, "You know how to win battles, Hannibal? But you don't know how to use your victories." He's right. Hannibal waits. Gives Rome time to recover. Rome uses that time brilliantly. The Fabian strategy. Named after Fabius Maximus, who proposes it. Never fight Hannibal in open battle. Ever. Shadow his army. Cut supply lines. Attack stragglers. Starve him out. It's guerrilla warfare. For 14 years, Rome refuses to engage Hannibal directly. Just bleeds him slowly. The Long War. Cannae was 216 BC. War continues until 202 BC. 14 more years of fighting. Hannibal wins more battles. But nothing like Cannae. Eventually Rome invades Africa. Threatens Carthage itself. Hannibal called home to defend. Meets Roman general Scipio at Battle of Zama. Scipio, who studied Cannae, uses Hannibal's own tactics against him. Hannibal loses. First defeat of his career. Carthage surrenders. War over. Hannibal won the perfect battle, but lost the war. Killed 70,000 Romans. But Rome survived. Tactical genius. Strategic failure. The Battle of Cannae, 216 BC. 70,000 Romans dead. 6,000 Carthaginians dead. Most lopsided victory in ancient warfare. Why perfect? Military academies call it perfect because double envelopment, hardest maneuver in warfare, total destruction, 71% enemy casualties, minimal losses, 12% casualties against superior numbers, won while outnumbered, replicable tactics, not luck, pure skill. West Point teaches Cannae an art of war course. Sandhurst studies it in tactical training. 2,200 years later, still the gold standard. Modern attempts. Generals have tried to recreate Cannae. Battle of Tannenberg, 1914. Germans versus Russians in WWI. Germans surrounded 150,000 Russians. Closest modern example of Cannae. Germans studied Hannibal's tactics specifically. Battle of Walaja, 633 AD. Muslim general Khalid ibn Walid versus Persians. Khalid used double envelopment, destroyed Persian army 3x his size. He literally studied Cannae. Six-Day War, 1967. Israeli armor tactics in Sinai surrounded and destroyed Egyptian divisions. Modern mechanized Cannae. Modern doctrine. U.S. Army maneuver warfare doctrine still uses Cannae principles. Fix enemy in place, center. Flank with mobile forces, wings. Destroy from multiple directions, encirclement. It's 2,200-year-old tactics in modern language. Hannibal Barca. Considered by many historians as greatest military tactician ever. Better than Alexander? Debatable. Better than Napoleon? Maybe. Better than Caesar? In tactics, yes. He turned Roman strength into weakness. Made them defeat themselves. But here's the heartbreak. Hannibal won the perfect battle, and it didn't matter. Rome refused to quit. Kept fighting for 14 more years. Eventually defeated him. Destroyed Carthage completely in Third Punic War, 149 to 146 BC. Literally burned it to ground. Salted the earth. Cannae teaches us. Tactics win battles. Strategy wins wars. You can execute perfect battlefield maneuver. But if you don't turn tactical victory into strategic advantage, you lose anyway. Hannibal killed 70,000 Romans at Cannae. Should have marched on Rome immediately. Didn't. That hesitation cost him everything. Today you can visit Cannae. It's in Apulia, southern Italy. Small town. Quiet fields. Hard to imagine 150,000 men fought there. But if you know where to look, archaeological markers show where Romans died, where Carthaginian wings closed, where 70,000 men spent their last afternoon. Hollywood hasn't made a Cannae movie. Too complex. Too tactical. Not enough individual heroics. Just pure military genius. One man's brain defeating 86,000 soldiers. That's the real story. Not swords and glory. Chess played with human lives. And Hannibal was grandmaster. He proved that afternoon in August 216 BC. Sometimes the perfect battle isn't enough. But it's still worth studying. Because perfection, even in defeat, is still perfection. Welcome to Cannae. Where 70,000 Romans died. Where one man redefined warfare. Where tactical brilliance met strategic failure. And where, 2,200 years later, we're still learning.